As we support our students in this quest, we show our commitment to make meaning and make meaningful lives together. So, how are we doing in Colorado? As you can see from the artwork that I've just shown you and the artwork that's going to be downstairs, we're doing well. And I think that art educators in Colorado can be very proud of the work that we're doing. But in every field, there's always more to be done, and that's true for the arts education in Colorado. In 2007, Colorado Council on the Arts and the agency is now named Colorado Creative Industries and its Division of Economic Development in the state. CCA at the time contracted with the Cypress Research Group to conduct a survey of art education in the state of Colorado. The survey was sent to over 1,700 schools, and we had a return rate of 458 students, so a little over 25%. And that was considered to be statistically relevant. Of those responding, 93% of elementary, 6% of middle school, and 83% of high schools indicated some sort of formal art education offerings. Now, obviously, you don't know with the 70% that didn't respond what they offer. And this was art of any kind. It could be a music class, a visual arts class, or a theater class. However, from the 131 high schools responding, statistics show that 53% of high schoolers don't have any sort of art courses in their high school program. I don't know why that is, and maybe some of the teachers in the audience can give a better idea of why more students aren't taking the arts in their high school careers. My guess is sometimes it has to do with time, that there's just not enough art offerings for students to be able to fit them into their busy schedules. For some students, it's money, that the extra materials and the fees are more than they can afford. I'm finding even at the university level, some of our students are having a hard time finding gas money to get to class. So people are struggling right now in the state of Colorado. A third is the cultural misperception of what art is. Often students feel like art is a special and extracurricular and not part of their core academic experience. This is despite what No Child Left Behind is saying in the Goals 2000 program and other government programs that have identified the arts as an important part of the art education experience for our children. It's part of the core. My organization, the Center for Integrated Arts Education, conducted a much smaller study a couple of years ago. We worked with 4 schools, and we asked 800 students their perceptions about their art education. We had 821 respondents. We divided them into 2 groups, those that had had an art class in the last year and those that didn't. So on the graph, when you see art students versus non-art students, those are ones that have had an art class within the last year. They didn't know that this was going to be an art survey. They thought we hoped that they thought it was just a survey of their educational experiences. So we asked them questions about the list of classes that you can see up on the board, science, math, throughout whatever classes they might be taking in the high school. We asked the students which classes they felt were important to their overall education. And then we divided it up into those that had had art class, those that hadn't. Overall, both the art students and the non-art students put more value on the classes that weren't art-related. But the ones that had actually had an art class saw greater value in that artistic education. So it was showing me that people that didn't take the art had a misperception about what the arts were. And then this was my favorite question. We asked them, when you leave this class, whether it's your science class or your math class or your art class, are you more curious? Do you leave a class with more questions than when you came in? And what we found was the students that had had an art class were slightly more interested in everything. So not just in their arts classes, which you would expect, but in all of their classes, they had a greater degree of curiosity. And I would like to follow up on that study. What can be done to promote different understandings about the arts in Colorado and provide greater opportunities for our children? Education at all levels, P20, preschool through higher ed, is facing very difficult challenges. I don't know if you've been listening to the news, but nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. I believe that strong collaborations between public, private organizations is the key. Of the schools that responded to the CCA survey, about a fourth had partnerships with outside organizations and received some sort of private funding for those organizations. Collaboration between public schools, the business community, nonprofit organizations, community interest groups, and government organizations is becoming increasingly more important to our children's education. The contribution to the Scholastics program is a good example. Scholastics, as a nonprofit organization, is supported by foundations and private donors as it works to ensure recognition for students enrolled in public school programs. One particular area of need is to provide money to meet the entrance fees that are often unaffordable for some of our students. I know the Scholastics Art Program is deeply grateful for the financial and volunteer support that the Denver Rotary Club has been able to provide. Partnerships such as this not only provide necessary funds, but work to change cultural attitudes. Through community support and partnerships, our children know that the arts are valued and important. We as adults in the community want our children to continue to ask why and what if. Thank you very much.